Gamification is a powerful tool. It's not just for the big Fortune 500 companies, it can be used by everybody to help retain clients and grow your business. Today, we're going to look at 3 or 4 examples of what you can do and the possibilities that are out there. Now, if this sounds like something you want to hear, please join us because marketing matters. Hello, my name is Bill Arnold. I'm president of Prevail Marketing. You may find us at prevailmarketing.com. Every single day, we give you a video on how to grow your business through better sales and marketing. The whole idea is we'd like to inspire you, get you some knowledge that maybe you have not considered before. And gamification is one of those things that I think are highly underutilized, but really can draw magnificent results. We're going to look at 3 different areas, looking like at loyalty programs, brand advocate programs, and increasing your sales. Let's start talking about that. Client retention using gamification for loyalty programs is not new. My goodness, it goes back to, I don't know, 1896. Yeah, when S&H Green Stamp started. And they started giving out their green stamps. If you're old enough to remember, on 1996, but they continued it up until maybe 1980s. Let's relax here. If you remember these green stamps, they would give out, every time they made a purchase, we would get sheets and sheets of these green stamps. It looked like postage stamps, but they had their special emblem on there and how big a purchase you got, how much green stamps you got. And I'd get them home, and then we'd get these little books. We'd have to paste them, lick them and paste them. I still remember the taste of that. It was awful, but we did it because every time we turned in these new books that were filled, they'd look at them very thoroughly, make sure every page was covered. And then if they were, they would give us $3. That's it, $3. Maybe it got to 5 near the end, but it was highly insignificant. But we continued to do this. We had fun doing this. This was a game. How many we could collect? And boys, like free money. Well, it wasn't free money. We earned it because we bought something from them. Today's version of S&H Green Stamps are Kohl's Cash. I mean, think about it. Kohl's Cash does the exact same thing, just in a little more modern format. You go in to buy something from Kohl's, and they will give you Kohl dollars. For every so much you purchase, you get $25 Kohl dollars. If you don't purchase enough, you got to raise that amount just so you get those Kohl dollars. People would maximize what they return. And what they got for it was the right to come back to Kohl's, spend those Kohl's dollars, redeem them, and probably purchase a lot more in the process. It works. It keeps people loyal, and they have fun doing it. I know people who wait for those Kohl's dollar days to happen and run out and make purchases, thinking they got something. You know, yeah, I bet it works, okay? So think about ways you could do that in your business. Another way we've talked about before, and I'm not going to belabor too much, but brand advocates. And I've used it before, and I've used it for resellers. I had a reseller program back about 2.5 years ago. And these resellers were bored. They really weren't doing anything. They just weren't engaged. So we sort of gamified the whole thing. We started putting one against another. We started giving prizes out. We started giving promotions out. We started doing extra things for those who got higher numbers. The way it works, the way it's supposed to work. What we found was a friendly rivalry had developed between 2 or 3 of the resellers. They all wanted to be that #1 reseller. They wanted to get the prizes. They wanted to get the awards. And we had some significant awards. We had a trip, an all-paid expense trip that they could get if they actually got the #1 for that year. And so they competed. They sold more. They serviced more. They promoted more. It grew the business by 39%. Now, that isn't even the best story. The best story is one that HubSpot did, and I'm not going to belabor it, but it's on our website. HubSpot had the very best gamification program of anyone I've ever found, period, end of story, because they would get an army of advocates to do whatever bidding they want whenever they wanted, just through the power of gamification. Let's talk about increasing sales. I'm going to talk about one you're more familiar with and one we did personally. I like the one we did personally, the best, obviously, but that's just me. The one I want to talk about is, think of McDonald's Millionaire Game. What did they do? They gave out little pieces of paper that matched up the Monopoly games. And people would go collect them, and sometimes there'd be a free drink or sometimes be a free prize, but people would literally not go to any other place to eat lunch because they want to accumulate more of these cards from McDonald's, more of the possibilities of winning. It increased McDonald's sales appreciably. And they did it year after year because of that. Now, whether you call that loyalty or increased sales, both of us happened. But the one I really want to focus on, just very briefly here, example I did for a customer was a B2C client who sold cartoon figures, action figures, those type of things through direct to consumer and through retail outlets. They were not the principal player in their industry. In fact, they were not even a close number two. They were so far down there, almost sort of like, I don't want to say a mockery, but they weren't the cool kids on the block, that's for sure, when we got there. So we said, look, we got to change that around. We got to fix that. We got to change your stars a little bit. So we said, let's gamify it. I mean, you are action figures. Gamification's right up your alley. It should be something people adapt to rather quickly. And so we started a contest. We had three goals and three different ways to increase awareness and sales. Every day, people who posted on their social media of a picture or video of them interacting, doing something cool with their figures, maybe having a fake battle, whatever, they would earn points. The best entry of the day also won some cool swag. So every day, there'd be a points awarded for people who did it. And there'd be cool swag. And these points would add up. And they would become something you could buy things later on. You could buy action figures, you can buy tickets to events, all sorts of possibilities. Meetings with some of your idols, all sorts of possibilities. We also had best collection contest, I'll get it out, where avid collectors would participate in a double elimination tournament. So what they do is they present their collections on the website and people would vote. There'd be a 3 or 4 day voting period, sometimes a week, and then they would say who the winner was. Then they'd go on and compete against someone else. This drove enthusiasm to the roof. You know why? Because those tickets, those prizes, those points could all result in tickets to Comic-Con in San Diego, which is very hard to get. And they actually not only attend the event, but there were highly sought after panels they could participate in or meet some celebrities on those panels. People love that. People went out of their way to participate. So what happened? What was the result? What was the outcome? Sales went through the roof. Why? Because people want to augment their collection for the contest, or they wanted to have some of these figures so they could display them back and forth and get points every day. And so they started to get creative, and what they did and how they presented it, that created more buzz, more interest. People started to think, wow, this is cool. Their product all of a sudden went from to being one of the coolest products on the market because of all the attention, all the ways people were showing their cool ways they interacted with it, showing their collections, talking about it. So in the post-campaign analysis, we found these people were buying action figures just to participate in the contest. So it increased brand awareness, made them the cool kid on the block, and then increased their actual sales. That is the possibilities you have with gamification. It works for B2B just as well as it works for B2C. The idea is it's only as good as you are creative. But when you are creative, when you put together something like I just talked about, have a great prize like Comic-Con, speaking to celebrities, seeing some of the panels, getting cool swag, all of a sudden you can take a brand that's fledgling, that's not best in class, not seen as the cool kids on the block, and change their stars to the point that they became the industry leader. It works that way. Now, these are just some very few examples. I can go on forever talking about gamification. It's a cool way to generate revenue and brand awareness and loyalty for your clients or for your company. If you'd like to know more about it, you go to our website. We have blogs about it, a series of blogs about it. Also, give us a call. We're glad to talk about this and figure out how we can work it for you or how you can do it for yourself even. Because the only thing that's standing in your way from being best in class or the cool kid on the block is your imagination and figuring out a way to gamify it. Have a good night.